is about complex numbers, and it sounds complex, but it's not, okay? It is going to be using imaginary numbers, and that's why it's called complex, just because it's a mixture of real numbers and imaginary numbers. So copy this down, please. All right, complex number is usually written in this way. The number that's not imaginary goes in front, then you have a plus, or you could have a minus sign, and then you have, bless you, and then you have the imaginary part of the number. Bless you. Bless your soul. All right. All this is, it's nothing new. We're going to be combining like terms, we're going to be distributing, and we're going to be multiplying by using the boxes. The only difference is going to be that anytime you end up with an I squared, you're going to take that out and replace it with -1. Some of you are going to get to the point where you do that in your head, and that's okay. I'm not going to do it in my head for the first day. I'm going to always show it on the screen. Bless you. All right, so looking at number 1. We have 3 minus I plus 2 plus 3I. Nothing is being multiplied here. There's nothing in front of the parentheses to distribute. And this is a plus sign, not a times sign. There's no boxes here. So all we're going to do is combine the like terms. And we usually write the number that's whole, or the real number first and the imaginary second. So I have a 3 plus a 2. I combine those together. And I get 5. If you were absent yesterday, just be patient till we get caught up on yesterday's notes, then this will make more sense. Then we have a -I is like terms with positive 3i. You treat them just like variables, just like common terms. So a -I and a positive 3 would make plus 2i, and that's your answer. Okay? We just combine like terms. It's like act like it's a variable, like it's an x. When we get an I squared, then we're going to act like it's a -1. This is just how you write it, just like yesterday. We left I in our answers. This one says product. These parentheses are next to each other, and there's nothing in between. That means to multiply. Okay, and right now, the easiest way for most of you is to make the boxes. So we have 7. Does your say plus or minus 3i?
Minus.
So it's minus 3i. And then this one is 4 plus?
Yeah.
Okay, so check here. I have a 7 and then minus 3i. I have a 4 and then plus 9i. So -4. Thank you. That's all right, so now we do just like before. When we do our multiplying, it's just like the boxes. You have your -4 times your positive 7, and you get -28. You have your -4 times your -3i. Treat that I like a variable. What do you got? -4 times -3 is positive 12i.
Wait, what?
Yep. Remember the boxes. -4 times -3i became positive 12i.
Okay.
Now do this row and this column. 7 times 9i. Together make 3. With the I, Now be careful. 9 times -3, and then I times I.
Something squared. I squared.
Yep. So it's -27, and then it's I squared. That's right. Some of you will start just looking at that and considering that a -1 right there. I'm going to write it all out, though, especially for our first time of seeing it. So now, just like we did in the past, we will combine our like terms. -28 doesn't go with anything else. -28. These two go together, though. 12i and 63i turn into 75i. Good. And you don't make it I squared, you're just combining. And then this one, -27i squared stands alone. Say it again. To do our next step, and then we'll write it in that way. If I think I understand what you're asking.
Can I write a capital I?
No, that means something different, actually. Okay, so now we have to look here. Remember up top I said anytime you have x squared, just replace it with a -1. So we're going to go right here. -27. The I squared goes away and becomes -1. You're substituting it. And then the rest of the problem stays as is. Okay, so all I did was substitute. Take out the I squared and replace it with -1. And the only thing that's left to do is simplify. This becomes what? Positive 27. Yep. -28. plus 75i, and then positive or plus 27. And then the last thing we do is combine the like terms. Which ones go together? Oh, that was your final answer? Yeah, the negative 20 and the 27 go together, become negative 1. Combine those. And then you still have plus 75i because that's separate. They're not like terms. They can't go together. That is your answer. And that is complex. That's what you were saying, right? Negative 1 is a real number. 75i is a complex, is an imaginary number. Together they make a complex number. Number 1. Oh, I thought it was going to look better than this.
Oh,
2i plus
negative 4 minus
negative 4 minus
Why is it
2i.
Thank you. All right, now, is there anything to multiply here?
Yeah.
No.
No, good. In front of the parentheses, there's a plus sign. All we're doing is combining here. So find the, well, first of all, we have negative 4. We'll put the real numbers first. So negative 4 goes here. And now we combine our like terms. Positive 2i and negative 2i. So what happens?
0.
0. So you don't even have to write it. They cancel. This is your answer. Only combine like terms when that's what you're dealing with. But number 2 is not combining like terms. Number 2, 3 plus I and 2 plus I, right? That is not combining like terms. Those are multiplication problems. You can do double distribution if you ever learned that way, but most of you are doing well with the boxes. Okay, so we do 3 plus I, positive I, and we do 2 positive I.
Plus I squared.
Yeah, that's going to be at the end. So 2 times 3 makes 6. Remember, you're multiplying when you're doing the boxes. And then you have 2 times I, which would be 2I. And then you have 3 times I, which would be 3I. Then you have I times I, which would be I squared. Which one of these is going to change? Those are going to combine, but the I squared is going to change. That's right. I'm going to do that last. We have 6, and nothing goes with it. What gets combined together? And that becomes 5i. Yeah, be careful, it's an I, not a J. And then you have plus I squared, which stands alone. Now it becomes negative 1. That's right. So 6 plus 5i plus negative 1. All right, so yesterday, when there was a square root of a negative, we just used the regular I. But when it's I squared, it turns into a negative 1. That's right. 6 and negative 1 make a 5. Yeah. It's all, well, technically, we write it this way, with the real number first and the imaginary number last. Some books, some answer keys I saw where they weren't picky about that, but this is the most common way to do it. All right, so number 3. Now let's do the boxes again. We have 4 and positive 3i, and then we have 1 and positive 2i. So we just multiply all of our columns and rows. 4 times 1 is 4. Face the front, please. 1 times 3i is 3i. 4 times 2i is 8i. And what's 2i times 3i? 6i squared. Okay, combine your like terms for me right here. What goes first?
3 and the 8i. Oh, no, the 4.
The 4 first, and then
And then
the 3i and the 8i, right? Okay, so this isn't like standard form for regular variables. They usually write the imaginary part last. So 3i and 8i would make 11i. And then you write your last one, just going in that order. Okay, what does this become? 6i squared. 6 times negative 1, and what does that become? Negative 6. And that's what's going to happen every time. So some of you are just going to get in the habit of every time you see an I squared, you're going to cross that off and make it a negative sign. But I'm going to write it out for you to see. I squared is really negative 1. So you have 4 plus 11i, and then minus 6.
So negative 2 plus 11i.
That's right. Whenever it's I squared, that's what happens, yep. And it becomes negative 6, so negative 2 plus 11i. Okay, so there's nothing really new here. It's just that anytime you end up with an I squared, you turn it into -1. All the other problems are just like what we've done before. And one last one, but it's pretty easy. Number 4. Anyone still writing? Number 4, what do you do with this one? Yeah, just simple distribution here. 3i times 1 is 3i. 3i times -2 is negative. I'm sorry, 3i times -2i is -6i squared. What is that really going to become? Positive 6. Yeah, but I'm going to write it out. 3i minus 6 times -1, I squared, becomes -1, which becomes 3i plus 6. And that's okay, but technically,
It's 6 plus 3i.
yeah, that's the technical way to write it. 6 plus 3i. The imaginary part always goes last. Okay, number 5, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. Do it on your own. Go.
It's 3 plus 12i. No?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
All right, number 6, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. Is there anything to multiply here?
No.
There's a negative distribute, that's right. So make sure you make this 3 plus 2, and then what does this one become? Minus 3i, and then minus 5, and then plus I. Make sure you deal with the negative that's in front of the parentheses there. 30 seconds, go. Can you say that again? Negative 2i. Good. And then I'll give you the right answers, and then we'll try the last 3. Number 12 is slightly different, but